And hello, everyone. Welcome to the Author Showcase. I'm Keith Williams, your host for this great show where we basically showcase authors. If you've written a book, and it can be a ebook as well. We showcase those who are bloggers, who do video blogs, and we also have guests on here who are book publishers, and maybe they're looking for authors. And so those are the guests that we have coming on this show. And today we have Shelly Mache'tte.
Mache'tte.
Mache'tte. And she is a certified life purpose and confidence coach. And she is an author as well. And we're going to be talking about her career as well as the book that she has written. So Shelly, welcome to the show.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
So, and I know that you're on Pacific time.
I am. So, it's a little afternoon over here.
So we're like well into the afternoon here. So we're a couple of hours ahead of you here. So tell the audience who are you?
Yes, again, I'm Shelly Mache'tte, and I'm a certified life purpose and confidence coach. I am also an international empowerment speaker, and I am a best-selling author. And what I enjoy and my passion are moms, women and moms, especially moms. And I help them bridge that gap between motherhood and discovering and finding their passion. And I help them do that without guilt so that they're able to blend successfully mommyhood and purpose.
So tell us a little bit about your book without giving any spoilers.
Like it.
We want people to buy your book, but we don't want you to, tell the whole book. In one sentence. We want people to buy your book. So
you know what? This particular book, I don't think that there could be a spoiler, Keith, because my book, 70 Days of Happy, Life is Better When You Smile, it is a journal, and it is a self-discovery of who you are. And so it is filled with different tips every single day for you to be able to take those things and for you to be able to use them in your life and really be able to gain authentic happiness. We forget about the little things because a lot of times we're looking for the big things, to really give us that happiness and that joy. And it's in the little things that we find that. And so I share different stories about myself, and I share different tips. One of my favorite ones is one of them is learning to forgive. And I share my story of an absentee father and how I really had to learn how to forgive this person, not because I was forgiving, so that he could be free of the harm that he had done to me emotionally, but so that I could be free and so that I could accept the fact that this particular person, for whatever reason, they weren't able to give to me, as a parent. But in order for me to have that happiness, authentic happiness, peace, and to live my life, without that baggage, I had to forgive. So those are some of the things that are covered in my book, 70 Days of Happy, Life is Better When You Smile.
So are they able to write in this book?
No, but I do have another journal. So that is just the book that for you to go through. But I literally have a journal that goes along with it. So many people purchase the book and the journal, and so they're able to really dig deep into their discovery.
Oh, that's great. I was like, it's just a journal. I can't write in the book.
Yes,
so
there is a journal
journal.
that you can purchase with it.
So what are some of the topics that you talk about in your book?
Well, that's one of them. Another one is really us being able to practice just being able to smile. So I think that's probably, that may be my first chapter. And in there, how it goes is it says, today I will, and then it gives you just a little excerpt of what to do that day. And so I begin the book with, today I'll smile. Because a lot of times we don't realize that our countenance and how we come across and how we look, it really does play a part in how we feel. And so if I'm walking around all day, and I'm sour face and I'm looking like I have a problem, a lot of times we take that countenance on. And then people who are around us, they see that. And then that's the type of energy that they give us. And so I encourage people straight out from the first chapter today, smile. And even I have to remind myself, smile more sometimes, not because I'm looking to, for somebody else to pour into me or to say, oh, hey, that's great that you're smiling. No, it's a way to remind myself that I'm in control of my countenance and the things that I allow into my being.
In any other topics that you talk about was besides those two? I know this has to do with so this book has to do with motherhood.
No, this particular book literally has to do with self-discovery, with you being able to take yourself on a journey so that you will really be able to understand the joy behind your own smile, and you being able to really find life in the little things. And so if you can see, I have this background, so you might not be able to see it, but within this book, there are many different topics. Like I said, smile more, be thankful for my job, speak positive things over my life, say I love you to yourself. So there's 70 different things in here for us to be able to remember how to smile, and that our happiness is our responsibility.
Um, any particular person or circumstance that inspired you to write this book?
Not a circumstance, but yes, I ended up doing a challenge. It was a 90-day challenge, and the challenge was for you to not say anything negative for 90 days. And it wasn't so much of, don't recognize that there are negative things that happen in life, but mainly to not focus on it. And so I did that 90-day challenge. And afterwards, because I'm a pretty laid back person, I'm a pretty happy person. But after that challenge, I was like, okay, I see that when you really deliberately take time to really say, oh, hey, this may not have been the best situation for me, but I'm going to grab the moments out of it. I'm going to grab something positive out of it. Then we really can create a better atmosphere for ourselves. So I took some things from that challenge that I learned, and I decided to put it in a book, because I'm like, if I was able to learn something from that 90-day challenge, I took some of those things and I said, I think other people, we all need a reminder sometimes that happiness is from within, not everything that's around us, and that it's the small things that can make us the happiest. And I decided to put those things into a book myself.
I've seen a lot you're familiar with TikTok, right?
Oh, yes.
And sometimes I read on the news that our young folks, they got these challenges. Um, I think that challenge should be featured on TikTok.
You
Uh,
know what? Okay. You giving me something now.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like negative. There's like a lot of challenges out there that can do a lot of harm,
Excuse me.
especially to young people. I thought for once that that someone would go in there and they have a challenge that actually do not harm people. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a really good idea, that 90-day challenge that you have can be featured on TikTok.
Yeah,
So
maybe we could do a 7-day happy challenge.
yeah, something like that, something that's positive that's going to help people, and
Absolutely.
it doesn't harm people. I had to bring that up because I've seen a lot of these challenges
Mm-hmm.
that be on social media that
Yeah.
not helping people. A lot of people, like for example, there's a challenge out there to where teenagers used to eat Tide Pods. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
but my mom back in the day was saying that if you breathe in too much nutmeg, you can get high off of that. I'm like,
Really? Oh,
yeah,
wow. I
that's
never
what they
heard
used
that
to
one.
do. Yeah, she said that's what the kids used to do. what the kids used to do
Uh-huh.
during her time.
Wow.
When she was a teenager, they got into some kind of nutmeg
Mm-hmm.
challenge. And I'm like, oh,
Kids will always find something.
I was like, okay. I was like, okay, that, but I'm in all seriousness though, I really think you should do that because I think people it's something positive, it's helping people. And kids, they love TikTok, they love
They
a good
do.
challenge. So
They do.
I said, well, why not do something? So why not do something positive? So
Absolutely.
so this book that you have written, who's your target audience?
Well, I think this particular book, the target audience is really those who desire to tap into their happy. And so for those who decide, hey, I want to get to know me better. So it's men and women who want to be able to tap into their own happy and not look for other people to give it to them.
So we're like kind of like, you getting like the tools and the resources that, hey, there is a way to encourage myself.
Absolutely.
But sometimes you may not be able to, find anyone that,
Hmm.
can give you encouragement.
Exactly.
So you have tools out there that gives us the ability to encourage ourselves. So
Absolutely.
pretty much.
We all need a circle, of people to push us, but we also all need to know how to push ourselves, how to speak life into ourselves, how to empower us, how to look in that mirror and take things that are positives in our life and pour back into us. So we need a combination of both. We need to know how to love on us, and we need a circle of people who know how to love on us as well.
So we're living a time where people are going through a whole lot of things right now. The economy is bad. Um, Jobs are hard to come by. Income
Mm-hmm.
is hard to come by. People are they're struggling to make ends meet. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
your book couldn't have come at a better time, And I know people's like, I got all this stuff that's going on, around me.
Yeah.
How can I make myself be happy, or how can I encourage myself through these difficult times?
Yeah. One of the things is we can take what I said before, the small things to make us happy. Something as simple as a sunset. Do you enjoy, watching the sunset? You should make that something deliberate in your life because, as you said, life is filled with so much and we're going through so much right now. And so we need to be able to take little things and pour back into us. I am big on, if you're a person who enjoys to read, if you have a family, wake up 30 minutes before your family does. Wake up 15 minutes before your family does. Make yourself a cup of coffee, sit by yourself and read your book for 10 minutes. Get that time, those moments that make you happy, that fulfill you, that give you a sense of, there's so much that goes on in life, every single day. We should have 5, 10, 20 minutes to just pour back into us. Every night before I go to sleep, I literally watch a couple of episodes of a sitcom because that's what helps to wash away my day. That's, I do something that brings laughter to me and that calms my spirit so that I could go to sleep with a clear mind. But that's what works for me. That's my little piece of happy. And everyone needs to have that to help us go through these rough times.
It says in your description that you write from a place of love, encouragement, and honesty, and you have like I think you mentioned something about you put some of your personal experience
Mhm.
in here, or
Absolutely.
self-reflection,
Hmm.
and you, your book provides a place where, people can self-reflect
Mhm.
and they can enter like a non-judgment zone or judgment-free zone.
Absolutely. We all have things that we're working on, with ourselves. None of us are perfect. And so this book isn't to, like try to point fingers, at anybody. It's for us to reflect. It's for us to look back. It's for us to say, hey, I can pull certain things, to make me remember happier places, for me to pour into my mental health, for me to be able to see things in a different light. And it's for me to remind people that we're all the same. We're all people. We all go through different things, but we're looking for the exact same thing: to live a happy, enjoyable life. We get this one opportunity and we all want to be happy in it.
Um, would you say that this book is therapeutic?
I think it can be. Sometimes I have to go back to it because I have to remind myself of something. And it does become a bit of therapy for me because I have to remind myself, you know what happened 5 minutes ago, it doesn't matter. Um, Everything worked out. You're fine. Take your moment, scream, yell, whatever. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And then come back and let's redo this again. So because I'm in a self-reflective mode, it does kind of give me, now again, let me put out there, I am not a therapist at all, but it does give me an opportunity to sit down, reflect, and it can be a source of therapy for you.
So I'm a certified counseling practitioner. You may not heard that term before, but um, a certified counselor practitioner is kind of like you heard of a nurse practitioner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so we share some of the so a nurse practitioner is kind of like the next thing up to becoming a doctor. But they don't have a license,
Mm-hmm.
as a doctor, but they do just about everything in the world that a doctor, does. It's kind of like the next step. So
Mm-hmm.
in the mental health world, that's what a certified counselor practitioner
Okay.
is. A practitioner is. The only thing that I cannot do, the only thing I cannot do, I cannot prescribe medicine, and I
Mm-hmm.
cannot do any type of diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Mm-hmm.
people that come to me, they have already been diagnosed. They already have a psychiatrist, that they're working with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like the person that help them work through their issues, similar to a therapist or
Mm-hmm.
a counselor. So we're all in the same category, except
Yeah.
you have a licensed counselor and a licensed therapist. Um, I'm certified. So
Mm-hmm.
I have a national certification. So pretty much I can work with clients in all 50 states,
Nice.
and not bound to being licensed, in one state. I,
Right.
I can pretty much cover all 50 states,
That's
um,
amazing.
which is probably, the best thing. Now, if I was to, is this something that I could use for, the reason why I brought this up is this question. If I was to purchase your book, which comes with the journal, is that something that I could use for maybe an exercise for a client that's going through a period of
Absolutely.
depression? And if so, uh, walk me through that real quick.
Absolutely. I believe that you could definitely use it along with the actual journal.
Mhm.
So I think that that's where it would come into play, using the book with the journal, because being able to read um, the different excerpts each day. The journal is what's going to take them deeper into understanding who they are. The journal is what's going to take them deeper into figuring out their feelings. And by them being able to sit with a counselor such as yourself, then you can help walk them through that. And so the questions in the journal are designed to not just help you reflect, but to help you get to understand who you are and who it is that you are becoming.
That's good. So that can really, so that can be like a session within maybe several sessions. But the thing is about that is that when we do these self-reflections, does that cause some kind of trigger? So like, we may, it may cause us to, trigger an emotion that we thought that we have overcame in the past. Like say, for example,
Yeah.
a traumatic experience.
It's always possible, because when we dig deep, sometimes we do find things that we have covered up. Sometimes we don't understand why we're angry, why we're such so quick to become angry. And maybe sitting down in that self-reflection as you're going back to different things that have happened in your life, there is a possibility that it could trigger. It is. And so that's why, again, working with therapists, working with people like yourself, working with counselors, it's never a bad idea to work with them while you're doing this reflection. When I left my job some years ago to become a stay-at-home mom. And as ironic as it sounds, for whatever reason, because, I know why now, is because I was dealing with different self-value. But what I didn't know at the time is being at home with my children, it actually triggered some things that happened in me in an abusive relationship. And so I had to dig down and find out, why did this trigger that? Why did being at home? And it was all about value and worth, and that person trying to make me believe that I didn't have it. And so then when I stayed at home with my kids and I didn't feel that value, it triggered those emotions. So we can be triggered by just about anything. And it's our job to try to figure out and dig deep why that trigger happened. How do we how we can move forward from it. And sometimes that needs to be done with some assistance.
So I know in, my line of work, sometimes we have to, dig a little deeper, which may cause some triggers in order for, that person to confront whatever trauma or emotion, that they're going through, and, kind of help them talk about that experience. For example, right now, and I usually don't mention names, confidentiality thing. So I have this person that's going through an episode where her grandson was murdered, and she's dealing with a whole lot of, emotional things. She's, even to the point that, she's questioning God, and she don't want to go to church anymore, and his funeral is today, and she don't even want to go. Those things, and every time that is being brought up on the news, the whole thing starts over again.
Right.
Now, I haven't talked to this individual yet because, be honest with you, I really don't know what to say, but I did tell this individual to, let everything out. Let it out.
Absolutely.
Don't keep it build up. Don't keep it build up in you. It does not matter. It does not matter what it is, even if, to the point that, you're asking God, why did this happen? Why you allow my grandson to be murdered?
Right.
Let everything out. Don't keep it bottled in. Let everything out. It does not matter what it is. It does not matter how long it is. I just told this individual to let it out.
Absolutely.
Get it out of your system. Because in the long run, it's going to help you.
Yeah.
it's going to help you find peace once, once everything is out.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a way that someone will, confront, that trauma. That's what people do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Absolutely.
some people do when they enter into a traumatic, state.
Yeah.
All kinds of emotions, come out. And it's justifiable that they get angry and say, why you say that? And I would say, okay, just let this person, grieve
Mm.
however they feel is necessary for them. There's no formula on how to grieve.
Right.
There's no formula for that. And sometimes I tell people that healing is not bound by time.
Right.
Sometimes, you'll probably hear this phrase like, get over it, get over it, it's time that, you get over it. No, that's wrong. That's the wrong approach, because healing is not bound by time. You cannot tell someone, when to perk up, or when they should be happy, when they should be encouraged. You can't do that, because those things are not governed. Those things are not governed by time, and people they have to figure that out for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so basically, I'm just there just to be a listening ear. So whatever they got to say, I would like, just let it go, just let it out. I don't care if you are, I don't care if you're like a volcano about to erupt. So if that's how you want to process your grief and your trauma, fine by me. I had, instances where, in sessions to where, people are yelling at me. They're not yelling at me per
Right.
se,
It's
but
a situation.
but they're
Absolutely.
right. They're just yelling out, their frustration. Is one thing that I encourage people to do all the time, is that, however you feel, you need to, let this go. Let it all go. I don't care how long it takes. Get it out of your system.
Right. So that you can reach that happier point in life. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it says that you are a speaker as well.
Yes.
So let's explore that a little bit.
Yes, I am an empowerment speaker. And again, I love being able to empower women to find who they were created to be and to really find their voice. And so I love motivating women. I love helping them reach their potential and being able to pour life into them using my voice.
So you do like a lot of conferences and workshops too.
I do conferences, workshops, summits. Absolutely. I love it all.
I'm on your website. It says that so you have you Flo, she has numerous of accolades here. For example, Children Striving Together Foundation Award she received. So speaking into the lives of the youth in the community. Whiteley Middle School, Compton, California, recognition, sincere appreciation in the lives of children in the community. So you like really out in the community touching, lives.
Yes,
So this is your
I actually started with the youth. And so it was amazing to be able to, to have that recognition. And from the youth, from speaking into the lives of youth, I went into speaking to women. So I still go back to schools and still empower middle schoolers and high schoolers. I still do that now, and it is a joy.
So we're coming on a new academic year that's coming up. I know it may be different in your neck of the woods, but uh, where I'm at, school actually starts on Monday.
I think school If it doesn't start this Monday, I think maybe the next Monday. I'm not 100% sure because I don't have school age children anymore, but I think that it starts in a couple of weeks.
It says that you was featured on Peace of Mind with Taraji Henson. She's a famous female actress.
Mhm.
No, that had to be a great experience.
It was amazing, and the best part is I had an opportunity to be featured with my daughter, and what we spoke about is mental health, being able to find your happy, to live in your happy, to love who you are. So it was an amazing experience.
And I think that Miss Henson is also in recent years had become a mental health
Hmm.
advocate, as
She,
well.
yeah,
I've seen a lot of her, and she does a lot of motivational speaking. I saw some clips of her in the recent past on social media, and
hmm,
um, she has gained a lot of wisdom. So and so she's been featured in all the mainstream media. Uh, your four broadcast networks. It's a local station, KABA, Fox 58. I think it's in Bakersfield, California. Is that correct? Uh,
yes.
some of these I heard of, and some of these I have not heard of. And just a whole bunch of like local, regional outlets. I'm quite sure you've been on a dozen podcasts.
I have had the honor of being on many podcasts and looking forward to being on many more.
So what are some of the responses that you're getting from your book?
I've gotten responses from people who just really enjoyed being able to once again reflect. And I one of the greatest things that I love is when people say thank you so much for adding pieces of you in there because it helped them really get to know a little bit more about me, the person. And so I loved being able to share little pieces of who I was in that book.
So again, I am on. So I am on your website. So, and I'm looking at. So here's what the book looked like. If you can see it, uh, 70 Days of Happy. Life is better when you smile,
Yes.
and that's the journal
Yes.
that comes with it. I remember when I was going through a lot that I used to write poetry. Need to go back to it.
Hmm.
That's where I write down uh, my experiences. Another book that she has on here is called Women Inspiring Nation.
Yes.
Um, Particularly, there's a chapter here called Too Dark for Love. It's a look at
Yes.
how colorism always affect me growing up and how I came to absolutely love the melanin that is within me. Got that on there. Um, so that's two books. And there's another one's called How Her Mind. That's
Hmm.
Powher.
Yes.
So let's talk about those. Let's talk about those two books.
Yes, Power Minds is really just a compilation of different quotes. It was something that I did. I used to put quotes on Facebook and people would ask, where'd you get these quotes from? Where'd you get these quotes from? And so they wanted a place where they could just grab the quotes. So I put that together because a lot of the quotes were just about not just empowering you and pouring life into you, but being able to pour it into your legacies, which is what I call my children, my legacies. And so that was something that we were able to do together. And so it's a collection collection of different quotes that are in there. And women love it. They love being able to just have something quick to speak over their lives. And then Women Inspiring Nations, that was a compilation book, a best-selling book that I had the opportunity to do with Dr. Cheryl Wood. And it was an opportunity for me really to be therapeutic for myself and to go back and look at the different places in my life where I gained the most empowerment. And one of those was dealing with a lot of colorism as I grew up. So it was an opportunity for me to really release myself in this particular chapter and to let others know that no matter what has happened in your life, no matter what is going on, no matter what has been poured into you, you don't have to accept that.
You mentioned, can you explain what colorism is for those who may not understand what that is, what that means?
Yes, absolutely. It's when you're judged and basically put down for the tone of your skin. And so I faced a lot of those put downs, and telling me that I wasn't good enough simply because of the tone of my skin, that I was unattractive, that no one would ever want me. I was made to feel like I need to settle in life because I wouldn't have as much as those who were of a lighter complexion than myself.
So do you have a lot of women that come to you with that same conclusion? I'm not good enough because of the color tone of my skin.
I don't really deal a lot in colorism, so that's not really something that they're coming saying I don't feel because of colorism. But women who are my clients, a lot of times we do end up going back and they end up confronting some of those feelings, not necessarily because they dealt with colorism, but because they dealt with someone pouring lies into them. And those lies could have been for anything. And so those are things that we tackle. We tackle those limited beliefs. We tackle those lies that people have told them, and then we rebuild so that you can be able to walk in the purpose and the destiny and the life that you have been called to.
So the materials. So what's the inspiration behind the material that you put in your books? Does it come from personal experiences? What does it come from?
Well, in all of my books, I put a piece of me. So again, like I said, my first book came from a challenge. My second book came from people wanting the quotes. My third book came from me desiring to let other women know you're not alone. So there's a piece of me in everything that I do, always.
Walk me through a particular conference or workshop that you may have. What can I expect from going to one of your workshops or conferences?
Yes. So I like to do both. And so I love to have different things, but for the most part, it's going to be women coming together, being able to network with other women, being able to be empowered. We may be talking about money that year. We may be talking about purpose that year. We may be talking about, how to start businesses that year. It's an opportunity for us to empower all women from all walks of life, both in their professional and in their personal lives. And then we get a chance to have some fun, do a little dancing, take some pictures, have some lunch, meet people. It's just a great afternoon.
So it's like an all afternoon type thing.
Yes, it's usually about a 6-hour day.
It's a 6-hour day. Okay.
About that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to some conferences and workshops with like 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah, it's usually about a 6-hour day, but we have lots of fun. So I look forward to be able to do that again soon.
Now let's talk about your practice as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
So it says you're a certified life and
Life purpose coach.
Purpose coach.
Yes.
So what is that like? So
Being a life purpose coach, I am just like a life coach. We're really helping people understand where the direction is that they like to take in their life. Being a life purpose coach, I just take it a step further for you understanding your passion and being able to blend your passion into your life and understanding what that purpose is. So I'm directing you and helping you get to the purpose that you feel that you were created for.
So what type of clients do you what type of clients do you have?
Well, right now, because I'm niching down, my clients are becoming more moms, and so that they're able to blend motherhood with purpose. So I'm working more with moms now.
Because I know that it may have always been like this, but I know in recent times, we're having more stay-at-home moms,
Mm-hmm.
than we had before. And, some of them feel that, I'm at home, I'm raising these kids,
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the house all the time.
Yeah.
Some
And
of
we're
them feel that
and
they
they're
have lost
looking
their purpose.
for, they're like, I've lost who I am. And so I love being able to help them rediscover that again. And that's what I do. I was that mom, and now I take pleasure in helping other moms live outside of motherhood and just blend those things together.
I remember watching an episode of Good Times where Florida, she was, a stay-at-home mom. She took care of the house, she took care of the kids. And then there was one particular episode was like, if this is all who I am.
Yeah, and that happens a lot, with moms where we're like, oh my gosh, is this it? Is there nothing else to who I am? Am I nothing more than the person who gets the kids everywhere and do everything, So absolutely, there's so much more to you. Being a mom is amazing and wonderful. Being a stay-at-home mom is awesome, but sometimes we get trapped. And so we need to rediscover and remember who we were before we were moms. Absolutely.
And I think in that same episode is when Florida went on strike. Yeah, because everybody said, can you iron my shirt? Mom, I need you to sign my permission slip.
Right.
I think that was that. I think that was that same episode.
Excuse me, I have this cough today.
And James was not helpful at all. So James was not helpful at all. I think in some instances he was like either chauvinistic in his behavior and his speech, but fortunately she had her best friend Willona,
Love me some Walona.
yeah. So she was always like the voice of reason, the comforter. Okay. So we're gonna get ready to so we're gonna get ready to close this out. We got about a few more minutes before we close this out. Um, Certainly you definitely have a great work. Would you consider, you mentioned something about a God-given purpose.
Yes. I
Uh,
believe that because I believe that God has given everyone purpose, that God has given everyone a destiny. And my desire is to help you find it, to help you narrow in on it. And that's what I love. That is my purpose, to help you find and live in yours.
so I'm looking at some of the excerpts and everything on your website. You know what this your work reminds me of? It reminds me of the book of Esther. Because in the book of Esther, God is not mentioned nowhere in the book of Esther. God is, the Lord is not mentioned anywhere in the book of Esther. But as you read the whole chapter, you discover that, he is all up in there, even though even though, he was never called by name, you know, you know, his attributes, are not, like really just out there, like, bam, there it is.
I'm gonna have to go back and read me some Esther, honey.
It wasn't, it wasn't like that, but but based on what was going on, you can really tell that God, was there. If you read between the lines,
Mhm.
he was there. And that's what I notice about, what you do. You don't mention God per se, but the things that you talk about and the things that you do, he is in the midst and is
Yes,
touching lives and is helping a lot of people. And
absolutely.
I
He's
think that's a
definitely in the
great
midst.
approach because, a lot of people have these myths and about Christianity in general. There's a lot of myths that need to be debunked,
Yeah.
but that's another conversation for another day. But I think that if we don't, beat that down people's, throats,
Hmm.
so much that I think that we would be able to, compel people to come to Christ as the Bible calls
Yeah,
us, to
absolutely.
do. And I think that Esther's a great example of
Hmm.
how to do that. So,
Yeah.
and I think I may need to reread that chapter as well because maybe,
Yeah, I'm gonna reread it. You made me curious.
well, I tend to make people think.
I love it.
I tend to make people, think, about, who they are and what they're really around them. Okay, so just one more question, and we're going to end it here. If someone wants to know more about you and your books, or they want to do a coaching session with you, or they want to attend some of your workshops, how can they reach you?
Absolutely. We can always connect on my website, which is www.shellymache'tte.com, and that's spelled ShellyMache'tte. We can also connect on Instagram at, yep. We can also connect on Instagram at Shelly Mache'tte. And I would love for you to grab my free guide if you are struggling with trying to figure out what your purpose is. My free guide is 5 powerful ways to discover your purpose, and that's at yourpurposeguide.com. So we can connect all of those ways.
Oh, bam, right here. It says that before you can confidently pursue our purpose or dreams, you must first unapologetically own our happy. Oh, and you can, it's an ebook here that you can
Yes,
download for free. It's a
absolutely.
47 value, bam, right there.
Yes.
Yeah, bam, right there. Okay. And just so you know, so this is what it looks like. When you go to the front page, there you go. Thought I'd just throw that out there.
You so kind. You so kind.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know you've been busy. You got a lot going on, and I really thank you for and appreciate you, coming on here to this lovely
Thank you.
podcast
Thank you.
to be a part of this. I'm sure that there will be some curious minds. Thank you so much. And
Thank you. Have a
with that
wonderful
being
day.
said, we're going to wrap this up today. Thank you so much for being part of the Author Showcase. And as always, we have another great author for you on next week. So at the same time, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. Central Time. So join us for another episode of the Author Showcase. Until then, enjoy your Saturday.
Bye-bye.